Episode 6. I was thinking about the whole, what do I take my first step as? What the hell do I do for my first step? And kind of realized that I'm leaving a source of motivation that I know works for myself on the table, and that's numbers, man. Number go up is it's what got me to lift. It's what it I don't know if it's what made me do well in school, but it's definitely helpful. I love seeing those big numbers as far as the scale goes. I like to see that. It's some kind of metric for my performance, and I realize that if I'm not making any kind of revenue, I'm leaving that on the table. Like, I'm just sitting here pulling my hair out, theorizing, planning and learning and posting these videos. And that's another thing that I realized is that these videos is something. It's not nothing. So I guess I have taken my first step in the recording of these things and putting them somewhere, attempting to become more articulate through these, attempting to be more clear, because I do listen to these. I don't just transcribe them with deepgram, have ChatGPT write me a description, title, and tags for this, and then shoot it off into the YouTube space. I do all of those things, then I listen to it once and cut out the absolutely terrible things that I just oh, I can't believe I said that. But I do like the raw format in general, where if a sentence is coherent, it's probably going in there. Anyway, I've gotten off track already. Income, revenue, making any amount of sales would be amazing. That would be verifiable return for something that I'm doing. And so I may be facilitating that as soon as possible. I am a fan of legal paperwork, somehow. So I will probably be going to register an LLC or some business corporation thing. Coming up with a name is going to be its own thing. I thought I came up with something clever and then found out that not only was it not clever, it was the name of a book. It was a series of books. I just never Googled it. Yeah. Picking a username all over again, man. But if I have a business, that means that I can associate a bank account with it. And if I can associate a bank account with specifically this business that I'm trying to achieve, then that means I'll have a record keeper. I'll have a score. I'll have some set of finances independent of my own that I can watch grow and shrink as I garner attention and reinvest the money. Considering I've been honing on sleep further and further recently, I wonder if it would be worth recording videos from my bed. That could be a fun gimmick. My immediate thought is to go do as much research as I can on sleeping. My next immediate thought, straight from Hormozy, is why don't I start reaching out to friends and associates and acquaintances and friends of friends and ask them where they struggle sleeping. Talking heads. I don't know if I want to be that guy that gets up there and tells you how to do it. I'll tell you how I did it and how I think through these things, but I've never been a fan of thinking I know a thing or two. I'm in a strange limbo where, again, not only on the sleep, I want to do as much research as I can. I want to pore over my notes that I've been taking for the last several weeks. Well, the last 2 weeks, and then more broadly over all of my notes from the last several years, which, hot tip, by the way, if you aren't taking notes, if you don't have just like a journal, go get one. Don't think about it. You don't need to have some super journaling system figured out about the best way to do the thing or plan your day. Just don't worry, Tom. Just buy a journal and write things down. Whatever you find important to yourself, just write it down. I swear to God, it will be like a 50% return within the first week. And then you'll immediately go, oh my God, I can't believe I should have been doing this since the start. Because, man, our memories are bad. I don't care how good your memory, unless you have an eidetic or a photographic memory, like full stop, it's worth buying a journal. It's worth buying a little notebook and a pen that you can write in. Also, hot tip for people who want a dream journal, also buy a pen with like a tip light, like an LED in the tip. Those things, yeah, it's hard to find a dim light to use while, you're sleeping. But those help a lot, so you don't have to turn the whole light on or like open your phone or whatever. It's just a light coming out of the tip of a pen. I love that thing. I just got one. I'm going to use it tonight. I'll report back. I'll let you know. But yeah, journaling is amazing. Journaling also it simultaneously gives you an anchor to return to times where you really feel like you're locked in, you know what's going on, and it lets you see how far you've come. I have a journal with a lot of notes from the time when I was with my first girlfriend. And that was a difficult time for me. And reading those notes, I still had good thoughts. I had ideas that I still return to this day, but I was also writing about my circumstance at the time. Not knowing what lessons I'd take away from those things, I felt it was important to write them down. And as I revisit these over the years, I learned more and more from that experience. And over the years, I've gotten more and more prolific with my notes. I look around the room that I'm standing in right now, and I have a Post-it note covered in things. Those are usually like 1 day, week or less kind of notes. Like, oh, I need to remember that this is happening, or here's an action item that I need to go follow. I have a legal pad covered in notes from various business creators, particularly Hormozy, and reflections on those notes and problems that I could solve, that I could see myself being interested in, things that I connected to these notes later on. It's full of things. And then the whiteboard behind me. The whiteboard I have a contentious relationship with still, because I have to erase the things that I write down. So I've been taking pictures, but that doesn't feel like a great solution either. I would do the whole tablet or writing pad computer thing, but then I can't stand and wander around as much, which I really love doing. But either way, it kind of forces me to cut down on the things that I'm not really thinking about anymore also. So I suppose it keeps me fresh as far as whatever I'm thinking about, it's dominating the board at any given time. So especially on these last damn near 2 weeks of locking in on this, just absolutely trying to figure out exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, what I could be doing with my time to make money. It has been totally erased. Let's see, seems like 6 times, 5 times, something like that. Not much of a mind map kind of person. I am a headline, subpoint, 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 followed by subpoint. Like that's the kind of notes that I do. And I must say, erasing those over and over again was good. I think my mind was reaching to every single profession and every single technology, trying to master them all in a weekend and take advantage of them as best I could. And now here I am, narrowing my focus so far that a week ago I would have scoffed at myself for doing so. But here I am, kind of paring down and just thinking where to take my first step yet again. Thank you for being here with this while I reflected. I'll see you in the next one.